Hello, everybody, and welcome. Now, today I did say before that I had something new going on. Now, I had actually downloaded this game at the start of the year. It's 22nd of January at the moment, so it's been a while. I haven't had enough time to do this, and or I've been lazy. But no matter which way you look at it, we're going to be starting this game today. Now, it's called TouchStarved. Um, I looked for it specifically because it didn't have any raunchy, sexy stuff added to it. At least that's the way that it was described in the description, obviously. But before this, it did let me know that before starting, I should turn the volume setting to 0 to mute the copyrighted music. So apparently, it's got copyrighted music. So I haven't messed with anything. It's the first time that I launched it. So if it has anything like that, or if I unexpectedly go to the settings and turn the music down or turn the sound down all the way, that'll be why. If I do that though, it's going to be really boring without sound. So hopefully there's something specific for music that doesn't mess with the actual sound of everything else. So, anyways, Touch Starved is intended for an older audience. It contains mature content that includes, but is not limited to, horror, graphic violence, strong language, alcohol, and drug references, including injury and dismemberment. Player discretion is advised. So do take this as a warning. If you're not over 18 or mature, please don't watch. It's really nice to start this off with. I mean, it's been 2 minutes now, so about long enough for you guys to have read this and or heard me say it. So you've been warned. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. Yep, tutorial. Touch Starve, your choices matter. The decisions you make may result in unique dialogue, interactions, or even choices in red text, which contain exclusive content. Try playing through the demo more than once and choosing different options. You might even uncover a secret ending. And remember, there's no wrong choices, only interesting ones. Choose wisely and save often. All right, so that is actually something that came up here as well. This is a demo. It's not the finished product, but we're going to play it anyway. Maybe I'll play it during the stream here and there as well. I'm not too sure. This is the first time that I open it up, like I said, so we'll see. Controls: left click, progress text and dialogue. Mouse wheel up, rewind. Oh, you can rewind. Okay. Progress text and dialogue. Spacebar, hide the UI. Press space again to bring it back. So pretty easy. I guess just gonna be a click through type of thing. So all right. What is your name? Choose your pronouns. All right, immediately the sound though. Jesus Christ, man. There we go. Actually, give me one sec, because that didn't go down to 0. There we go. This world began to unravel long before you were born. It began with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters and human beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect. Others were mindless beasts driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. There's always me. You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. The unnamed, a fallen oracle. Ooh, that sounds awesome. If I'm gonna be completely honest, that sounds pretty cool already. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priests claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled and searched of the Cenobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences around you. The Hound, a Forsaken Thief, kind of less than a fallen oracle, but all right. You were raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, helped you steal enough money for a cure, then betrayed you. Doesn't it always go that way? They left you with only enough coin to travel to the Cenobium, your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violent underbelly of any city, using your experience with the underworld to get ahead. The Alchemist got my attention already. Oh, also, I chose this game specifically because it's single player. So I was looking for something that I could play on my own, without Snow, without anybody else, because I've had trouble finding a good D&D um, group. I tried Sam. He's busy at the moment, so unfortunately, womp womp. Anyways, the Alchemist, an abandoned mage. Although an alchemist really isn't a mage, it's more of a scientist. But okay, anyway. An exiled Cenobium mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. Apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the Cenobium seeking a cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. Yeah, we'll go with the alchemist, because why not? Your name is Chester. You selected he, him. Your backstory is the alchemist. Is that correct? Yup. It does sound a little bit. You know what? We're going to try this. If it meets us, then I will probably re-upload with no sound. So, not re-upload, re-record. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out there but death. The ever-present stench of decay and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial itself. As rations grew sparse and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair, but then I saw it. Iridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world, and home to the famous academy called Cenobium. The Cenobium. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place, and if there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. All that stands between me and a cure is a final stretch of salt-soaked wastes. Or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. A hushed voice. I'm not gonna do a hushed voice, because... is this fogfall? My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence, heavy as a mist, falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Distant voice. Stay back, no. The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. When I opened my eyes, adrenaline lends sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. The trader I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming gristle, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding, white blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Ooh. A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a carabiner? Carabiner? Carabiner. Shoes. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. The soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing to the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Run for the city or head toward the city. I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of the spire. It's faint, but it's enough. Came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source, but the fog ball twists and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He slams into me, knocking me to the ground, and slips a patch of mud. Solus falls on him as soon as he slows. Catches the driver by his throat and breaks his stomach with razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit. My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gouge torn deep into my palm. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. They reach for my hand and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No, don't touch me. The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. It's not his thumb, though. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Their lips heal back into a deranged grin. No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse, madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me... Suddenly, clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Die! Die, 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 die. Spit bubbles hit the corners of my mouth and flex my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs scream for air. Fight them off? That might be the best thing to do, to be honest, but let's go ahead and save there. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrist, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. The more I struggle, the tighter the grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. This can't be happening. I'm gonna die. And not because of the fogfall or the soulless, but because of my own curse. Tears sting my eyes. No, no, no. Not here. Not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slump over with the claws hooked through their stomach. The soulless shoves the body aside and the glowing eyes studying its leathery skin, thin as though grinning. There's a flash of claws, red spills across my vision. Thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I noticed an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. Should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down in a desolate wasteland. A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Ooh, that was short. If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of the bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror, nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment I take a reflexive breath. Air pours into my lungs, then out again in ragged grasp. feeling comes floating back, a warm cloth on my bare skin, firm surface underneath me, a strange tang of sulfur in the air. Do not be afraid. I don't know if it's a dude or a chick, so that's a dude. Don't be afraid. Fuck you. I twist my head toward the voice. Tears flood my blear vision at the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a strange voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me. My words come out in little more than creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. What the hell is this? I manage to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims, and my surroundings give an alarming lurch. Stubborn patient. I don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheet up higher, wipe my eyes until my vision clears. Stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I notice that I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp, golden eyes, watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. Plunge my hands into the sheet to hide them from sight, though it's too late. I must have noticed what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for his inevitable suspicion and disgust, but his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. Even my own mentor, my teacher, thought I was nothing but a convenient specimen to be used and be discarded. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles through the papers in his hands. I see you're not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. With a soft creak, he stands from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch, a faint whiff of smoke, and something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. The doctor produced a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. Could you step out? I lift my head, looking defiantly into those golden eyes. Could you step out first? I'm not getting just with you standing there. To my surprise, the man's mouth crooks. He's not planning on watching. Good, because I don't want you here anyway. Still smiling to himself, he disappears through a narrow door. I hear a soft click, and the lock turns behind him. I count to 3 in the sudden silence. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. Oh, that shirt was torn off, huh? I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off, and yet my arm shows no signs of injury, apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, at the very least gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up, bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happens. The seconds tick by and my arm remains resolutely healed. My surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I reach for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly putting them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with a black woolen cloak to go with them. But there's one thing still missing. My bandages. Do you guys see the there's this cloak maker. It's not cloak clothing, by the way. Cloak brand clothing. It's a nightweave. Or is it silkweave? Nightweave. It looks so cool. It's not an endorsement or anything like that, because I haven't bought anything from them. But those cloaks and those capes look so comfortable. I really, really, really want one. Or two or four. But they look so nice. They look so nice. Not even joking. Anyway. Golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. The bandages, yeah. I slide off the bed and take off. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I start opening drawers and at random, and of course, that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move toward me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clench my jaw. I knew it would only be a matter of time before he asks about my hands, though the way he does it is strangely roundabout. Say nothing, glare at him, declined answer. Well, that's a very personal question, and I don't really want to answer. Is that so? Surely you realize that I can only help if you tell me what ails you. Classic doctor move. At least I don't have United Health. An involuntary snort of laughter escapes me. Where would I even begin? Would he even believe me if I told him? No, best to keep my courage to myself for now, and learn more about him first. Who are you? You may call me Curious. Ah, Cure Ass. He cures asses. That's why his name is Cure Ass. It's really cliche. If it was something else, like if it's a pickpocket, his name would be Pick. If it was an assassin, his name would be Blade. If it was like royalty, his name would be Ernesto Hernando the Fourth. And if it was a scientist, his name would be Biology. Anyway, and where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Iridia, so I made it to the city of knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. That's true. My arm was severed. Which you provided? No. It was a guy that's standing next to him right here. You see him? He did all the healing. He just observed. Yes. He says it so simply that as if I'm a small child and explaining basic addition to me. He basically is. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine. Thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on? Pardon? A Solus attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds, tore my arm clean off. But when I woke up here, I spent my entire life learning from a Cenobian mage, and I know of no alchemy or magic that could reattach a severed limb. Even if he somehow could heal me by magic, I could sure detect traces of it, but I sense nothing out of the ordinary at all. The doctor, curious, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down on his chair, quiet for a long time. I don't know where you come from, but Iridia is a city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it is most unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you have refused to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I don't even know your name. You're new to Iridia, and I will overlook the specific breach of etiquette. However, you should not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit, he has a point. I'm also a complete stranger to him, and if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. I take a deep steadying breath. This time, when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Chester. My name's Chester. It's a pleasure to meet you, Chester. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Yeah, see? It switched from to as to the why, he's a doctor, so he's probably just gonna say, that's my job, that's what I do. Thank you for saving me. I chance his smile in return. Even if he won't explain how he did the impossible, there's no doubt in my mind that I'd be dead if not for Kiras. Think nothing of it. I'm not sure if he's just being excessively courteous, but his words only raise more urgent questions. But I have to ask, why did you save me? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Kiras. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. See? Called it. Unless you've got United Health, then everything goes to shit. I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what kind of price Kiras might ask for such well-made clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across so fascinating a patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that you would cling to life so resolutely, or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. Well, I mean, I wasn't alone. I cannot help being curious about you. His voice dips into a soft murmur and he abruptly looks away from me. Oh my god, he's blushing. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travelers don't have an abundance of coin, and it would be unethical to leave you destitute in a strange place. That's how you know this doesn't take place on Earth. Or the US. I fall silent, unsure what to say. Nobody would help a whore like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? He wants a booty. He wants a booty. A loud knock comes from the front door, stops our conversation cold, and spares me from having to say anything else. And I'm actually going to go ahead and stop it right there. If you guys like it, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share. But I will try to make more of these. I know I've made a couple starter ones before and then just kind of stopped. I didn't actually stop. I just kind of stopped recording. So I'll see if I could go back to them and start where I saved last. But for now, though, we're gonna try to keep playing this game. I'll see how the reactions are, if there's any reactions, and I'll start uploading a whole lot more. I do also stream on Twitch, just so you guys know. It's twitch.tv/Chester, exactly the way I spelled it on here. So you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.